I traveled to Mecca as an unbeliever and found this about Kaaba and the black stone no one ever spoke about. Did the Prophet destroy all the idols at the Kaaba and left one? Have we all been lied to? Most people think the black stone is a small oval piece. This is false. The visible portion is just a small tip of a much larger stone embedded deep inside the Kaaba wall. The silver frame hides the broken edges and protects the rest. Before civilization carved its first footprints into the earth, before the first temples, kingdoms, or languages emerged, a stone descended from a realm far beyond the skies. Long before the Arabian Peninsula became a center of trade and pilgrimage, a divine object was already resting on its sands, carrying a story older than humanity itself. The black stone, known today as Al-Hajar al-Aswad, is believed to have originated in paradise. According to early Islamic tradition, it was sent down to Prophet Adam after his descent to earth. It was not simply a relic nor a monument, but a sacred reminder, a symbol of the covenant between the first human and his creator. Historical narrations describe this stone as dazzlingly white, brighter than milk, glowing with purity and untouched by earthly imperfection. But the stone did not remain white. As the generations of humanity moved through time, from Adam to Noah to Abraham, the stone slowly darkened. It did not blacken because of age or natural erosion. Its darkening was said to reflect the moral weight of humanity, the sins, the struggles, the failures, and the hopes of countless souls who touched it with sincerity. Every layer of darkness became a silent archive of human history. Scientists who have examined similar ancient stones propose a meteorite origin. Its texture, its unusual density, and its metallic traces point to something not formed in the crust of the earth. Yet this theory, instead of contradicting Islamic tradition, strangely supports it. A stone arriving from the heavens aligns with the belief that it descended from a non-earthly realm. Whether one approaches it from a religious or scientific perspective, the origin remains outside the ordinary. For thousands of years, the stone lay preserved through floods, storms, and shifting civilizations. When Abraham and Ishmael rebuilt the Kaaba on the original sacred foundations, they were guided to the resting place of this heavenly stone. With reverence, they placed it in the eastern corner, establishing its role as a marker, a beginning, an anchor, a reminder of humanity's eternal relationship with God. The black stone's journey from a luminous relic of paradise to a darkened witness of human existence is one of the greatest mysteries in sacred history. Its origins reach beyond time, beyond science, beyond any known human era. It stands today not merely as a physical object, but as a bridge between earth and the unseen, a silent testimony to the earliest stories ever told for thousands of years. The black stone has stood as an unmoving witness to the rise and fall of civilizations. Long before Mecca became a global center of pilgrimage, long before Islam emerged, the stone occupied its sacred position, watching humanity shift around it like desert sands blown by the wind. According to Islamic tradition, the black stone survived the great flood of Prophet Noah, when the world was cleansed of corruption and nearly all traces of earlier civilizations were erased. Nothing from that era remains, no structures, no writings, no artifacts, except this single stone. It endured what the earth could not, preserved by divine command for a future role yet to unfold centuries later. When Prophet Abraham and his son Ishmael were instructed to rebuild the Kaaba on its original foundation, the black stone re-emerged. Abraham placed it with his own hands, elevating it as a sign for all generations who would come after him. From that moment, the stone became more than a relic. It became a marker of time, a witness to prophecy, and a symbol of humanity's return to monotheism. As centuries turned into millennia, the world around it changed dramatically. Pagan tribes took control of Mecca. Hundreds of idols surrounded the Kaaba. Empires rose in Egypt, Babylon, Persia, and Rome. Kingdoms expanded and crumbled. Yet through all these eras, the black stone remained untouched in purpose, never losing the sacred status given to it since the days of Abraham. When Islam emerged in the 7th century, the stone once again became central to the rituals of faith. Millions would eventually circle it, pray near it, and pass by it in reverence. But even as crowds filled the holy sanctuary, the stone remained silent, unchanged, patient, and ancient beyond measure. It is the only object on earth that has witnessed the prayers of prophets, the cries of nations, the footsteps of pilgrims, and the turning of every era in human history. The story of the Black Stone is not just a tale of holiness and survival, it is also a chronicle of violence, tragedy, and resilience. Its journey through history is marked by moments so devastating that the stone itself was scarred forever. In the year 683 AD, during a fierce conflict between rival factions in early Islamic history, the Kaaba was struck by fire. Flames swallowed the sacred structure, collapsing parts of its walls. The intense heat weakened the Black Stone until it cracked under pressure. What was once a single smooth object fractured into several uneven pieces. From that moment, the stone would never return to its original form. But the most traumatic chapter came in 930 AD, when a rebellious sect known as the Qarmadians stormed Mecca during the Hajj season. They slaughtered thousands of unarmed pilgrims, desecrated the sanctuary, and committed an act so shocking it echoed across the Muslim world. They pried the Black Stone from the Kaaba and carried it away as a symbol of their defiance. For 22 long years, the Black Stone was missing. The Kaaba stood incomplete, its sacred corner empty. Generations of pilgrims performed their rites without the stone that had anchored the structure since the time of Abraham. Scholars debated its fate. Some believed it would never return. When the Qarmadians finally relented and returned the stone, it was no longer whole. It had shattered into 15 small fragments, some no larger than a pebble. Craftsmen had to bind the pieces together using a mixture of resin and glue. To protect what remained, they encased the stone in the iconic silver frame that holds it today. Few pilgrims realize that the stone they kiss or touch is only a collection of ancient fragments, bound together like a relic, stitched from history's wounds. Its scars tell the story of fires, invasions, and upheaval. Yet they also testify to its divine preservation. Despite every attack, every fracture, every attempt to erase it, the Black Stone survived, not by the strength of its material, but by the command of the one who placed it on earth. The Black Stone holds a place in Islam unlike any other object on earth, yet its significance is often misunderstood. To Muslims, it is not an idol, not a source of power, and not an object of worship. It is a symbol, one deeply rooted in devotion, obedience, and the legacy of prophecy. Its honor begins with Abraham. When he and his son Ishmael completed the rebuilding of the Kaaba, the Black Stone became the marker of the covenant between humanity and God. It signified a return to pure monotheism, the faith of all prophets from Adam to Noah, from Moses to Jesus, and finally to Muhammad. Centuries later, when the prophet Muhammad entered Mecca during the conquest, he found the Kaaba surrounded by idols. One by one, he removed them, restoring the sanctuary to its original purpose. But the Black Stone, placed by Abraham, remained untouched, not because it held supernatural abilities, but because it represented continuity, a link connecting every generation of believers back to the earliest revelations. The rituals of Hajj and Umrah revolve around this symbolism. Pilgrims begin their circumambulation by facing the stone, not to worship it, but to acknowledge the starting point of a divine journey. Touching or kissing it is an act of respect, rooted in the tradition of the Prophet. Even the second Caliph, Umar ibn al-Khattab, famously declared, "I know you are only a stone that can neither harm nor benefit. I kiss you only because the messenger of God kissed you." This statement captures the heart of Islamic belief. The stone is honored because of obedience, not because of inherent power. Many narrations describe the Black Stone as a witness on the Day of Judgment. It will testify on behalf of those who touched it sincerely. With faith in their hearts in this way, the stone becomes not only a historical relic, but a spiritual record keeper. For Muslims, the Black Stone embodies connection to God, to the prophets, to humanity's beginning, and to the countless souls who have walked its sacred path. It is a reminder that faith is more than rituals. It is a journey that stretches across time. Across centuries, scholars, explorers, scientists, and theologians have studied the Black Stone. Its history is documented, its rituals are known, and its role in worship is clear. Yet even with everything revealed, a great portion of its reality remains hidden behind a veil of mystery. One of the most intriguing questions concerns the stone's true nature. Early Islamic narrations describe it as a jewel from paradise, glowing pure white before absorbing the sins of humanity. But what kind of stone changes color not through weathering, but through spiritual contact? Its darkening is unlike any geological process known on Earth, suggesting its transformation is tied to something beyond the physical. Scientific theories attempt to explain it. Some propose it is a meteorite, others believe it is a unique form of volcanic glass, and some argue it contains minerals not native to the region. Core samples cannot be taken, and testing is restricted, leaving its composition largely unknown. Every theory ends the same way: inconclusive. Another mystery lies in its endurance. The black stone survived floods, fires, invasions, and centuries of human touch. It has been cracked, shattered, stolen, and returned, but it is still here. Every attempt to erase it has failed. It remains intact, preserved through events that destroyed structures far stronger than stone. There is also the question of its spiritual properties. Islamic teachings say the black stone will speak on the day of judgment, with a tongue and two eyes, bearing witness for those who touched it sincerely. What sort of object carries divine memory? How does it record intentions? These are truths that no science can measure. Even the Kaaba's precise alignment towards celestial points, solstices, and the global landmass raises questions about knowledge far beyond the capabilities of ancient civilizations. The black stone sits at the heart of this geometry, as if deliberately placed to mark something only the Creator fully understands. In the end, the black stone stands as a bridge between the seen and the unseen. Some truths about it may never be uncovered. Some mysteries are preserved not to be solved, but to remind humanity that the world still contains wonders beyond human reason.